The Gauteng High Court has granted the Asset Forfeiture Unit a preservation order for more than 3.2 million rand in relation to funds paid fraudulently or alternatively mistakenly into the bank account of Tshepang Phohole. The order was in terms of the Prevention of Organised Crime Act of 1998 relating to property that is believed to be the proceeds of unlawful activities of fraud, theft and or money laundering. Phohole, an employee of a client of CSG Resourcing, was identified together with numerous other employees of such clients to have received a share of this COVID-19 UIF relief funding. We're joined now by Sipho Ngwema, spokesperson for the National Prosecuting Authority, to learn a little bit more about this. So let me first start with you. Your understanding, was it fraudulently begotten funds or mistakenly?
At this stage, the police are investigating, but we suspect that there may be a criminal intention behind it. So the police are investigating a possibility of fraud, money laundering, or theft. So this is what is happening now, because as soon as the money went into his account, it was distributed to many other accounts. So the investigation in that front is continuing.
How many accounts was it distributed to? Because I also understand that the money was destined for another account, but then somehow was then put into his account.
Yes, indeed. The money was destined for CSG Resourcing, and then it went into his account, and he works for one of the clients of CSG, and it was distributed to numerous accounts. I can't recall the figure now, but it's just too many.
And are you able to determine the amounts that was given? As in, was there an impression that perhaps he's distributing the UIF claim monies to those employees?
There's no doubt at all. There's no reason to link those people who have received the money to the UIF. And further, even if they were supposed to be recipients, the money is supposed to go to CSG Resourcing. They are the ones who are employed to do that. So the account that was given to UIF is CSG Resourcing account, not anyone else. It was not supposed to go to his individual account.
And let's talk about CSG Resourcing. When did they wisen up to what had happened?
Around the beginning of June, around the 4th of June, they became aware that the money did not go to the account. In fact, the money may have gone into the Tshepiso's account. So they alerted the police, and the matter was investigated because there is a fusion center, which is a collection of law enforcement agencies that are looking at corruption that has to do with the funds related to COVID-19. They all work together. The Financial Intelligence Center froze those accounts immediately, and the Asset Forfeiture Unit of the NPA subsequently worked on papers to make sure that the account is frozen under the Prevention of Organised Crime Act, which is what happened yesterday. And therefore, this is what we are in now. We are going to apply eventually for the permanent forfeiture of that account of those monies to the state.
And I'm just wondering how such a mistake, if it was a mistake, could have happened, that the money was paid into Phohole's account. If I, as CSG, as an entity, is claiming UIF, surely my details would then have to be vetted and confirmed to be of such. How does the money go into another entity or person's account who was not making the claim?
Yes, indeed, it's baffling because even the banks are not the same. CSG submitted their particulars of a particular bank, which is very different from the account to which the money was dispensed. And therefore, this is why there's a criminal investigation. And this is why there's a suspicion that this may have been theft, fraud, or money laundering. So there's a suspicion that there were criminal intentions in terms of how the money was dispensed to a different account, and the investigation is continuing.
Are you investigating complicity within the UIF itself?
Of course, when there is a criminal investigation, you don't outrule anything. So everything is, any possibility is being investigated. At the conclusion of the criminal investigation, everybody is going to be clear exactly what happened, why it happened, and the circumstances around it.
So ultimately, those who took part in this alleged fraud, what would be the penalty other than having their accounts permanently frozen?
Of course, if indeed a criminal investigation discovered that there was criminal intent, those people will be charged. As I said, there's a possibility of fraud, money laundering and theft. Those people will face those kinds of charges, and there are sentences that go with those kinds of offences, and therefore the law will have to take its course.
Those sentences typically?
I know, for example, things like fraud, things like corruption, you will have to get no less than minimum of 15 years imprisonment. But also in terms of money laundering and so on, you are looking in the same region with regards to the sentences that may be imposed on any culprit that is found guilty.
All right. Thank you so much for your time. Sipho Ngwema is spokesperson for the National Prosecution Authority.